If there's one smartphone series that people look out for or wait for, is particularly this, the Xiaomi's Redmi Note series. And obviously, after the fact that it sells millions in numbers, you know that these phones come out with the best of the specs and features compared to what they are priced at. There are smartphones from Xiaomi that are now into the flagship range. Xiaomi did not do that a lot earlier, but now they have the Mi 10T series and also the Mi 10 series. Now, we are seeing the Redmi Note series finally in India after quite some wait. I mean, it's almost a year now because last time I remember around the lockdown time when I was supposed to receive the unit, and it was just when the COVID-19 lockdown was announced and the package was at the Blue Dart Hub for about 2 months, I guess. So now we got it on time, and this time the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max is the best of all the devices that Xiaomi has announced in the three. So they have announced three smartphones: the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10, the Note 10 Pro, and the Note 10 Pro Max. And the difference between the Pro and the Pro Max is with the camera. The Note 10 Pro Max has a 108 MP camera, while the Note 10 Pro has a 64 MP primary camera, and that's the only difference between the two variants. And here the base pricing of the Note 10 Pro Max is 19,000 rupees. But what actually makes this phone better than its predecessor? The Note 9 Pro Max was already one of the great devices out there. It was pretty much covering everything, including the display, the processor, and the processing power in that, and then also the cameras and the battery life. Now, the Note 10 Pro Max, starting with the display itself, is a huge change. So we are looking at something that has a 120 Hz refresh rate, 240 Hz of touch sampling rate, and it is Super AMOLED. So for the first time, we are looking at the Note series having a Super AMOLED display. Earlier, there was always an IPS LCD, and we never had that complaint actually, because the Note series always had a display that still could come out with pretty good colors, even though it was not AMOLED. But this time, there's no need of that extra thinking about, okay, IPS LCD, but still this could come out with better colors. It's AMOLED, so you know that the color output is going to be very good. And alongside that, you have the Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection on it. There are three color variants, and the first one is called the Dark Knight, then there's Glacial Blue, and the third one is the Vintage Bronze. We've got two variants here, and the two colors that I got would be something I would recommend rather than the third one. The Dark Knight is a pretty standard design, but it doesn't have the glossy back, which is a very good thing. So it has something, it's completely glass made, and it is pretty soft, but there are no reflections. So against the light, there are no reflections. You still get a pretty good design. And the one that I was looking forward to, I felt that Xiaomi did not send it, and I should probably buy it later to actually see the colors. They did send it to me later, and this is the Vintage Bronze. So this is the color to actually look forward to. This is the refreshing color, something new from the company, and it actually shines a lot with that. This kind of copper finish is something you don't see very commonly in the market. So this is the Vintage Bronze from Xiaomi for the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max and the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Now let's talk about what comes inside the device. So it comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G. The only phone that already has this processor is the Poco X3, and the Poco X3 is actually a pretty good phone, and the performance was good, but it was not very well optimized for gamers. So in case you're looking out for only gaming as something, you have to look forward to our gaming reviews, because every smartphone brand tweaks or optimizes the chipset for gaming experience for the users. So we'll have to look forward to this, and you'll have to stay tuned till 11th, and on 11th our gaming reviews would go live. Till then, for the actual users, it's MIUI on Poco, so it's MIUI on the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max as well. So for the regular users, there's no difference. It's going to be very smooth and super smooth actually, because not just the processor but also the 120 Hz refresh rate display is going to give you that smooth buttery experience on the interface. Now apart from that, the camera combination, this time the Note 10 Pro Max has a 108 MP primary camera, which is something that is pretty good. And then there's also a wide angle camera. There's a macro camera, 5 MP macro camera, which also doubles up as a zoom sensor. So there's a 2x optical zoom with the same camera there, and there's also a depth sensor offered on the device. So it's a quad camera combination. There are some modes added into the camera app, and there's also the night mode 2.0 given there. On the front, you have a 16 megapixel in-display camera. They call it the in-display, but it's that punch hole camera. Towards the center, it's a 16 megapixel sensor. Now Not just the 120 hertz or the Super AMOLEDs, but also there's some more things about the display. The peak brightness of the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max is 1200 nits. So under sunlight, you obviously aren't going to see any struggle to watch any content, read anything. It's going to be very easy. And then also you have out of the box screen guard, which is something the brand mentioned, because usually most of the brands now ask the user to do that, because you'll have to buy a tempered glass or a screen guard later, but this time you have that out of the box, so no headache about ordering it separately, waiting for it to come and then place it. And also you have HDR10 with the 100% DCI-P3 color gamut. Now for the other good things, Xiaomi always has been giving that IR blaster, so that's present on the top. And if you take a look at what it offers on the top here, these are the things you have. The 3.5 mm headset jack. Then you also have the secondary speaker, so there's a stereo speaker combination here. There's a secondary microphone and that air blaster towards the top. Now towards the bottom you see a USB type C port, and also the primary speaker and also the microphone. So two microphones, two speakers. The earpiece grill is towards the top, and also apart from that, this is quite a wide display. There are some minimal bezels towards the side, and even the bottom doesn't have a very wide chin, so that's a good thing to see here. It's a very wide display. So this is a very bright display, as I said, 1200 nits of maximum brightness. Alongside that you have the 3.5mm headset jack, which is now starting to miss out on some of the devices, and this is something that we users always complain about. There's nothing that you need to actually fix when it's not an issue. So some of the brands have been removing the 3.5mm headset jack and then offering the adapters with the type C to 3.5mm adapters. That doesn't make sense. There's no need to remove the headphone jack when it's not causing an issue. There are some smartphones which might be having that space issue, but here the company has managed to actually still give the headphone jack, which is a pretty good thing here. And apart from that, we'll anyway talk about the benchmarks, about the gaming and the performance, the speed test comparisons and everything after 11th of March. So you'll have to stay tuned for those videos. And for the battery, it comes with the same 5020 mAh battery that was powering the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max, and the fast charging as well is of 33 watts. But this time the company has not reduced the fast charging speed for the Redmi Note 10 Pro, because even that carries the same 33 watt standard and the 33 watt fast charger in the box. Because last time the Note 9 Pro and the Note 9 Pro Max had only two differences, that was with the camera and then the fast charging. So that difference is removed here, and it's only the camera that differs in the Note 10 Pro and the Note 10 Pro Max. And the phone comes with MIUI 12 based on Android 11. So if you're a gamer, you know that this might be kind of a disappointment for someone who's into games like PUBG Mobile and you want to enhance the graphic settings of this smartphone. By default you're gonna get 40 FPS output, but in case you wanted to increase it to 60 by using some of the tools that are available on Play Store, you can't do that because Android 11 restricts all that. So in a way that's kind of disadvantages, but for someone who isn't into gaming, you're getting the latest Android OS and the latest MIUI version based on that. And there's also the guaranteed update to MIUI 12.5 that's going to come very soon. So that's it guys, this was a quick overview. Now you can check out the unboxing here to see what all comes in the box package. Firstly, as soon as you open the box package, the first thing that you're going to see is the SIM ejector tool, and then the user manual or the quick user guide, and then you have this transparent rubber cover which has all the cutouts, but also this flap for the USB Type-C port. So I would be probably cutting it out to make it easier to always plug in the USB Type-C port, but for someone who wants to protect the Type-C port, you can have that flap there, or you can easily cut it out. And next you have the smartphone. Obviously I'm showing you these two colors. It's either the dark night or the vintage bronze, and also there's the third option, glacial blue, in case you are planning to get a blue variant. And apart from that, you have the USB Type-C cable, and finally the 33 watt charger inside the box. So this was a quick unboxing and a full overview of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. Stay tuned for our other videos. This probably is going to be one of the best recommended smartphones under 20,000. Whether to get a 4G phone or a 5G phone now in the market is going to be a topic of debate always. I personally would always suggest to go for a 4G smartphone right now, because it still would take at least 2 to 3 years for any telecom operator to first win the auction and then get their infrastructure ready and then place those towers and get 5G ready for users. So it's going to take 2 to 3 years. Till then you might probably be switching to another smartphone already after buying this one. So why to go for a 5G phone when there's no guarantee of 5G for the next 2 to 3 years? That's what I feel about it, and that's what I had mentioned in our gaming channel, where people were already asking about a gaming 5G smartphone or a regular 4G gaming smartphone. So the same thoughts apply here as well. No 5G, no 5G smartphone needed. So that's what I would think about it, and that's what is all about the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. I hope you like this video. If you do, share and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.